Self-employed in Canada? Protect your small business with Zinsurance.
In September 2023, the New Mexico State Police released videos from their response to a deadly shooting of a 13-year-old girl in Cuesta. Widely reported by news outlets at the time, the footage purported to reveal a clear picture of the incident. It showed a group of teens caught in a lie, and one parent's irresponsible behavior leading to legal consequences. Yet, just over a year later, after multiple jury trials, new evidence, and a re-examination of this same footage, the story of this case looks very different. Hi there, I'm Kevin, and welcome to Just Thought Lounge. Today we're going to take a look at the critical first few hours following an emergency call after the tragic shooting of a young teen. Now, some of you may have seen this footage before, but you may not know the full story. Unfortunately for everyone involved, the case did not end after arrests were made. There is much more to this tragic tale. Let's take a look.
Buzzkill and fucking Zolra.
In the early afternoon of July 28, 2023, 4 teenagers were hanging out, listening to music and joking around. They were at the home of 14-year-old Porfirio Brown. Gathered at the Brown house with Porfirio in Cuesta, New Mexico, were a few of his friends. Some names of the minors involved in this case have been changed for their privacy. Faces have also been censored in the publicly released footage. At Porfirio's house with him were friends Freddie, Freddie's younger sister Amber, and her girlfriend, Christy. The mood at the Browns' property was jovial. The group had spent some time herding sheep into a nearby pasture. They had returned to the house to relax for a bit. That is when the unthinkable happened. A gunshot rang out. 13-year-old Amber Archuleta had been shot. A call was placed to 911.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
What the f***
What happened?
Someone, my girlfriend got shot
Where did she get shot?
in her nose.
Freddie took over the phone call. He explained to the operator that the shooting had been a drive-by. The vehicle was described as a black SUV. The incident had occurred suddenly.
Is the person that shot her still there?
Yeah. Wait, no. They drove by.
It was a drive-by? Do you know who they were?
No, I wasn't even really around. I was up in the field.
When the Cuesta Police Department arrived at the scene, they found Amber on the ground next to the back porch of the Brown family property.
You don't need to be upset.
My sister.
I understand it's your sister. I understand, but what you're doing right now is
the same thing if it's your sister.
I understand, but what you're doing right now is not helping.
No.
Okay, I'm not trying to be an asshole to
Yeah,
you.
you are.
I'm not trying to be an asshole to you.
Valiant efforts were made to keep her alive while they awaited the arrival of EMS. Her distraught brother Freddie lingered nearby. Officers pleaded with the 14-year-old to keep his distance while they fought to save his sister.
It's pretty good. So can you please just go over there and let us do our job, please? Sure. It's okay, bud. I understand you're upset. I totally get it. Okay, we're gonna need you to back up, please.
No,
guys.
no.
Being here is not gonna help.
No.
Believe me. Let us do our
My
job.
sister.
Let us do our
It's my
job.
sister.
Travis knows exactly
It's my
what he's doing.
sister.
Travis knows exactly
It's
what
my
he's doing.
sister.
I understand.
Is she alive?
The closer you are,
Does she?
the closer.
Hold on.
Yes.
Does she have a pulse?
She has a
Oh,
pulse.
no.
Right now.
Yes.
Right
she
now.
has a pulse.
Right now.
I just need to step back for a second. I understand.
In these first crucial minutes of the response, the officer's top priority was young Amber Archuleta. She had sustained a
Alright,
gunshot
up
wound
there.
to the head. EMS arrived on the scene, but their efforts came too late. Freddie and Amber's father,
Ease
Joshua
up, soldier.
Archuleta, rushed to the Brown property as the response was ongoing.
I understand, sir. Can you talk to me for just a couple minutes? Sir, the EMS just pronounced her deceased.
Oh my God, man.
So,
She's gone. She's gone.
No!
Yes, sir.
Lady's voice. What the fuck was
I'll
that?
have one of my guys meet you. I'm trying to stay out here to block this off.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Officers began to piece together a narrative based on the statements made by the 3 surviving teenagers: Freddie, Christy, and Porfirio Brown. In his distraught state, Freddie appeared initially unable to restate what he had told the 911 operator.
Somebody needs to tell me what happened. We don't remember.
I'm out of it right now.
Does somebody pass by?
16, go.
Okay, who else is here? Is it just you guys?
Later, taken away from the immediate chaos, he told investigators again of the drive-by shooting, explaining that it had occurred from the road.
Can you show me on the street where it was?
Supposedly, it's a drive-by that happened near the road.
Officers sought out the exact area in order to cordon off the scene. The only problem was they could see no indication of where on the road the shooting could have taken place. There were no shell casings, no blood, no tire marks.
I'm looking for a casing too down there. I'm not seeing anything yet. They said it happened down here on the street, and that's where I'm looking. Hey Siri. Okay, Google. Call Chief. I'm not sure if it was down here. He said it seemed like they carried it up here, but this was closed. So I'm guessing they carried it through here.
What? What's up?
Porfirio told police that Amber was
Alright,
shot
you're gonna have to
near
give me a
a
minute,
dumpster,
alright?
which sat in front of a neighbor's red house.
Awesome. You're the man.
Was she inside?
We drove in here to get tissues.
From the front door?
Huh?
From the front door?
Okay.
But she didn't get no blood because of, well, I grabbed the carpet and we kind of like wrapped her in it.
Okay. Who are you on the phone with?
My mom.
Can you show me where you got her from, please?
The road?
Yeah. Like where
I have to wait to my dad.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where she was at so I can secure the scene in that area.
It's right there by that dumpster, you know, by the red house.
Wait, oh, down the road further?
Like just right there by that red house.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
So you carried her all the way over here?
Well, my friend came knocking on the door and said someone shot my sister.
Porfirio told the same story as Freddie, supported by statements by Christy. All 3 teens stated that Amber had been moved towards the house after she had been shot. William Brown, Porfirio's father, returned home from work after receiving a phone
Don't say hi to
call from his
Sativa.
son. He too told a similar story, though he had not been present when the incident took place.
I wasn't even home. Okay, so you just got here just now, or did you just get here after the incident?
Yeah. I was at work when my son called me about it happening.
Did your son tell you anything like that?
He just said that there was a girl that was shot and he didn't know what to do.
Did he say who shot the girl?
You can't go, Ashley, you can't go there.
Did he say who shot the girl?
He said a black SUV.
The scene around the Brown property was confused. Witnesses and their parents came and went as officers continued to piece together the unbelievable story fed to them by the teenagers. The assumed crime scene on the road was not cordoned off at that time because the area where the shooting allegedly occurred could not be identified. Meanwhile, the teenage witnesses roamed freely. William Brown, his wife Ashley, and their son had full access to their house.
You didn't find any blood anywhere else?
No, I was out there looking for a casing, looking for blood. The only thing I found are like footprints and stuff like that. And is that yours?
Yeah, that's mine.
What the I can't find anything.
Both boys were absent for a time during which each tidied up and changed their clothing. Meanwhile, Freddie and Christy, after being allowed to leave the scene, later returned alongside Joshua Archuleta. At that time, both teens wished to revise their original statements. In this new version, the group had been spending time listening to music inside of the house when Porfirio pulled out a handgun. As they stood in the kitchen, the 14-year-old directed it towards Amber. She either instructed him not to point the gun at her, or perhaps also made a move to push it out of the way. In one version, Christie stated that a struggle occurred over the gun before it went off. After, the teens panicked. The group reached the conclusion that they should lie about what happened. Freddie claimed that Porfirio feared the trouble he would be in from his father, even threatening to hurt himself if they did not help him conceal the truth. All three teens then agreed to a story. They moved Amber from the house. The aim was to lift her to the road where they could claim that she had been shot by a passing vehicle. They carried her to the back porch before stopping to call for help. The call to 911 was placed perhaps 5 to 10 minutes after the gun was fired.
At what point did somebody start cleaning up blood?
When you say something, is it okay if I speak to him? Tell him what he wanted you to help him do. He asked me to help him carry you to the roadside so he could say it was a drive-by.
When I forgot about that, but when like he was like over there, when he said he was gonna kill himself, he kept asking me if like to get her to the road, to say like somebody drove by and shot her.
There was a story of a vehicle driving by.
Oh, yeah, he made that story up whenever he shot her and took her outside.
What did he tell you about that?
He tried to make up the story that the drive-by happened right next to that dumpster in front of his on the road. Tried to say that a drive-by happened right there, and that her brother went to his house freaking out about it, and they ended up dragging her over there.
What neither teen was able to explain was what reason Porfirio would have had to intentionally fire the weapon. The mood before the incident took place was characterized as jovial, just teenagers having a bit of fun.
And he was never mad about anything?
Everyone was laughing, having a good time.
Everybody was just having a good time? Okay. Do you feel like he meant to do this?
I don't know, because if I think about it, he didn't seem mad or anything, but then why would he have his finger on the trigger and just do that? So, I don't really know.
We were all chilling, having a good old time. We just went to his backyard and we're done messing with his goats and shit. And we ended up going to the front and we ended up going back into his house. And then next thing you know, he pulls out it's a revolver, the one that has a spinning barrel.
Okay.
He pulls out one of those.
It was a handgun?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he ends up pointing it at her, and she went to go. And he points it at her, and she went to go like take it away from her face, right? All of a sudden, you just hear a boom. I look, and I see her fall to the ground. Next thing you know, she starts to bleed.
So he shot her in the face with the handgun?
Yeah,
Where were you guys when he shot her with the handgun?
I think the kitchen.
You guys were inside the house when it happened?
Yeah.
After it was determined that the shooting had taken place inside of the house and not down the road or near the porch, state police attempted to gain access. The problem they encountered was that William Brown was not cooperating.
We're just trying to make sure, is this the scene where it happened?
It is
well,
now.
the body's in the back. There's no scene, there's nothing in here. Okay, I need you guys to step on out.
Brown, come on.
No. Need you guys to step on out. You have a warrant? There's gonna be a warrant. We have detectives on the way. We need you guys to step on out now. We've tried cooperating. These guys have already let people go that were here. So what's the issue? There's an issue because why are we supposed to stay here?
After William was coaxed out of the house and investigators made their way inside, they noted first that there were multiple firearms left out and unsecured. According to the two witnesses, Porfirio had been showing off his father's gun collection. A rifle matching the description of one provided by Christie was still sitting out when officers entered the home. There were cartridges and other ammunition also visible. Another firearm sat just inside of an unlocked closet. When the area was finally processed as a crime scene, blood was found in the kitchen, laundry room, and bedrooms. Luminol was used to identify a large section of flooring that had been cleaned. Both Freddie and Christie told law enforcement that Porfirio had mopped the area before police arrived. Porfirio Brown was promptly arrested for the murder, while his father continued to argue with state police and complain about being kept from his home.
Wait. Yo, Sean, what's up?
Just 5 weeks before the shooting, the New Mexico State Legislature passed new gun safety legislation.
Of course, I'm not
It
watching
holds that parents can be
half
held
of this video
accountable for acts committed by their children with firearms that they had failed to keep safely stored. It's called Benny's Law, and it's named after Benny Hargrove, a middle school student who was shot and killed by a classmate who brought his father's gun to school. Dozens of firearms were seized from William Brown's home. A handful of these had not been locked away, but had been left unsecured and easily accessible. When William made the admission to officers at the scene that not all of his guns were secured, he was promptly arrested under Benny's Law.
Another thing that you need to understand is there's a lot of guns in that house, right? And none of them are secured.
Most of them are secured. I have a few that are out.
You have a few that are out. Okay, with that right there, have your hands, put your hand on your back.
Based on the body cam footage released,
and that's why you never answer any question a cop asks you.
The facts
Rocky, you fucking demon, dude.
Seemed certain. The teenagers were looking at William Brown's gun collection, which the father had failed to keep safely out of their possession. Porfirio selected a handgun. He pointed it at Amber and fired. He then concocted a lie about a drive-by shooting.
Israel
and forced
accent, I
his
feel
friends, Amber's girlfriend and her own brother, to go along with it. But if the shooting was intentional, as law enforcement believed it had been, what was the 14-year-old's motive? The two had been friends, their families were close, and they had not been arguing at the time that the gun was fired. It was widely speculated that Porfirio was simply trigger-happy. The only explanation was that he loved guns. He had wanted to try out a weapon on someone, anyone. Amber had been the unlucky victim. Christy recounted that as she witnessed Porfirio pull the trigger, he was smiling.
He was actually close friends with my son, and I never expected this to come out. He spent holidays with us and stuff like that, and he seemed like a nice kid, but it's turning out that he did have some really major issues.
Joshua Archuleta also spoke about the wonderful young woman that his daughter was. He knew her to be a creative and energetic teen. Amber had been a keen artist.
I gotta go fill up my bong here, Sean. Alright, bucko? So you don't go nowhere, and we'll be ripping this tuck as soon as I get back. Hey.
911, where is your emergency? My mom.
You here? I'll be right back. You're either in or out, bud. None of this back and forth horse shittery. Alright. Sorry about that.
I said it had to be somebody that loved her.
Is an Iowa son a seed of evil? It's a case of murder on the farm.
She is gone because someone shot her.
Yes, you did, Jason.
He told me that if I didn't get on the bus, that he was going to make sure I was under the bus.
I asked why he didn't farm together with his dad, and his response was, I can't because my mom is a bitch.
There's only 2 people in this world who know what happened on June 19, 2015. And one of them is dead, and the other one's sitting behind me.
The killer is still out there that shot her!
Okay, your wife is in a bar, you said she's unresponsive?
This is what he's going to tell you.
How to get out of that situation.
And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
911, where is your emergency?
Yeah, I need an ambulance, man.
Okay, to what address?
132 Perry Street.
It was the Iowa farm home of Shirley and Bill Carter, their son Jason describing a horrible scene.
My mom was laying here on the floor, blood where she's dead. I don't know what happened.
Jason's father, Bill Carter, was next to arrive.
And I went right in the kitchen, and there she lay. And I said, I'm so sorry, Mama.
Shirley Carter's murder in her remote western Iowa farmhouse devastated and ultimately would destroy her family.
It's really like the most horrific nightmare you could ever imagine, to lose someone that you love so dearly, and then your family to be just shredded, ripped apart.
She would be ashamed of how her family has fallen apart.
At the age of 67, Shirley Carter had raised 3 children, always busy with her grandchildren, and still active on the farm with her own John Deere tractor to help in the family's 900 acres of soybean and corn.
She was a hard worker, that's for sure, and she loved her grandkids, and, you know, I miss her.
Her husband of 52 years, Bill, actually talked of suicide.
Well, I thought I'd lost everything. Everything. I never had any trouble in my life. Even when we had to get married young, we never had trouble. And then for something like this to happen in our old age, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
And as Bill Carter replayed in his mind the image of his wife's body that terrible morning in the kitchen, he began to wonder.
Because she was laying face up, and her hands were like this across her chest, and her eyes were open. And I thought, you don't die that way. And I said to Jason, I said it had to be somebody that loved her.
And it was his youngest son, Jason, who found the body and came under suspicion almost immediately, as the lead detective, Mark Ludwig, would later testify.
He was immediately on my radar even before I arrived on the scene.
Ludwig had listened to Jason's 911 call as he drove to the scene.
This is one I know for a fact I haven't seen before. Everyone that we watched the past couple of days, I've seen. This one right here, I know for a fact I haven't. Soundtrack. Squirter.
Case out of Iowa, Todd Mullis is accused of murdering his wife Amy with a corn rake.
She fell on a fork. I had a goddamn fork on her.
It was very difficult to buy that story.
Amy was quite unhappy and was actually thinking about leaving Todd. There were aspects of
She fell on a
I
fork.
believe the last time you saw her that you did have some type of sexual relation.
I started watching the first day and I was hooked.
Todd Mullis looking at a big penalty if he's convicted. You know, the case kind of took off.
It was compelling.
He killed Amy. He killed Amy. Now I can understand why.
And could not believe that this man was being tried for this. He couldn't have killed her.
There's a search for what did ancient cultures do to infidelity. Did you do that search?
No.
16 facts about cheating women. Did you do that search?
No. Todd, did you ambush your wife Amy in that shed that day and brutally beat her and chop her up with that corn fork? No, I did not. You know who did? I have no idea.
Something tells me Todd's lying. My sister used to date a guy named Todd. Dude was an absolute fucking Nimrod.
This is what he's going to tell you.
How to get out of that situation.
And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir. The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything?
We, the jury, and to find the defendant.
Delaware County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Oh!
Hello? Where are you at?
I'm on the road. I'm out of breath.
Okay.
A farmer in Iowa racing to the hospital with his injured wife Amy in the back of his pickup truck.
Okay. She's not responsive. I'm just me and my son bring it.
Bleeding heavily as she lay in the lap of their teenage son, Tristan.
Why is the music so...
Amy.
Okay, sir, what happened that she's not conscious or breathing? What?
Fuck, dude. The music's way too loud. Can't even hear what these people are saying.
Slowly make your way into the end zone and get the win. Then we go into game number 5. This one, another 4.
Come on, give me the pet. I'm pretty sick. I don't know why I was protecting melee there. Not paying attention too well. My dog is going absolutely ballistic down there. In like an hour, we'll get a strength level. Oh my goodness. I'll be right back. Snowing like a motherfucker. Ooh. Hell yeah, I want to do this test. Alright. Back to doing what we do. Fucking book of knowledge taking up a spot. Brother, I'm not even using my fucking thing. I was kicking him, I wasn't paying attention.
I walked in. I thought, curiosity got the best of me, and I poked at the stick.
How far back is it?
Right into the left. I lifted off the sheets with the stick.
Right over here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This was the video of a citizen taking the police to a horrifying sight he came across in the early morning hours of June 11th, 2018. While finding a corpse wasn't unusual for the officers, they didn't anticipate the shock that would engulf them when they went close to the body.
Sure, yeah, go ahead and call Major Todd.
As the police dug deeper into the case, they stumbled upon a killer who left them stunned with a terrifying confession.
Just got violent. Unfortunately, I had a chainsaw in my hand. I buried him in the backyard.
The Marion County Sheriff's Office started their day with a badly mangled and mutilated corpse discovered at Northeast 115th Avenue and State Road 40 in Bellevue, Florida, on their hands. While the missing head from the body of Jane Doe was a ghastly sight on its own, Detective Brent Castellano noticed that her killer didn't stop at just severing her head off.
We noticed that it was just a torso. There was no arms, no head, and no legs. It appeared they had been cut off with something. I was 4 years on the job at that point, and I had not seen a body that had been dismembered before. Seeing a decapitated body for the first time was pretty shocking. You see them on the movies and stuff, but seeing it in real life was completely different and pretty mind-blowing.
Owing to the missing head,
bro, we're absolutely wrecking. Holy fuck, we just got them so quick
by
right there.
classifying her as a Jane
sick.
Doe. Fortunately for the police, the dead body was found pretty early because of a stroke of luck, thanks to an unusual behavior pattern shown by scavenger birds. This forced the witness to deviate from his original route of commuting and discover the corpse. The police decided to interrogate him further about the discovery in hopes of getting a lead that would help them identify Jane Doe.
Currently present with conducting an interview in reference to him calling in a report of a deceased person. How were those sheets the first time whenever you walked down there?
It just looks like sheets or cloth or something.
Did you notice anything else about the sheets?
No, sir.
Anything? I walked back there and looked. Looked like there's some things on top of it. Did you notice anything on top of the sheet?
No, sir.
No. Okay. You didn't put anything on top of the sheet?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any idea who this person is?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you okay right now?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. You live down here. Who lives with you down here?
I live alone. I rent.
Okay. Okay. Is there anybody that you know that lives back here? Is there anybody that you know that...
People have come in sometimes and asked me, hey, is there a campground? So it seems like it's busy, you know.
Okay. Okay. But nobody you know that resides back there?
No, sir.
A regular back there that's come up missing lately and you haven't seen in a while?
I don't really know too many people out here except those on my immediate street.
Once our evidence technician gets here, I'm going to probably try to ask you to wait until they get here.
That's fine.
So we can get a sample of your DNA if you don't mind.
Nope, not at all.
But just in case anything crazy,
yes, sir.
It would be beneficial.
The case was assigned to Detective Aaron Levy, who made it a priority to identify the deceased woman. Despite being a seasoned detective, he admitted that this was one of the worst cases he'd ever encountered. While the interview with the witness didn't reveal anything significant, the police found a silver lining in identifying the victim when they discovered a unique tattoo on her body.
At this point, all we know is that on the torso itself, there was a pretty unique tattoo on her right shoulder. It was a tattoo of a robin bird perched on a tree branch.
The robin tattoo came as a relief since the missing limbs and head made it difficult to determine which demographic the victim belonged to, which would have quickened the pace of tracking her down. This caused the Marion County Sheriff's Office to look into the records of the missing persons reports registered with their police station. There, they saw the entry of a 62-year-old woman named Robin Lee Upson, whose details showed that she had a robin tattoo. To confirm her identity, however, the police contacted her mother, Lena Upson.
When did you last speak with Robin?
I think it was the 4th or the 5th. I'm not sure. She was down here, and she used to take care of us and do a lot of things around here and stuff.
Did she have any recent tattoos?
Well, she's got a new one on. She had put on her finger, I guess, but she's got a big one on her shoulder of a robin.
With a robin bird?
Mm-hmm.
With the victim's identity confirmed, Detective Levy quickly secured a warrant to search Robin's house. Interestingly, while the police were already dealing with a limbless corpse, little did they know that searching Robin's house would lead them to a hidden but gruesome trail of blood. The exterior of Robin's house didn't quite reveal the horror that awaited the police when they entered the property. While her body had been cut away in different pieces, the trees in her lawn seemed to have met a similar fate. Moreover, the police also found a bloody mess on a mattress, which confirmed that Robin was killed or first attacked in her own house. But while only a splash of the dried crimson liquid showed itself to the naked eye when the forensics walked in, they lifted the veil off the savage traces of how merciless Robin's final moments may have been.
We were able to get a search warrant for Robin's home. We found looked like a lot of tree work had recently been done. There was a lot of tree limbs and brush piled up in her driveway in front of the garage door. The garage door had been left partially open. The backyard, it looked like there had been a lot of tree work back there as well. Found a mattress in the living room that had been covered in blood. We used luminol or a blue star, which was able to allow us to see areas that the suspect attempted to clean. We were able to see that there was blood all over the floor, on the walls, on the ceiling. We found saws that we believed had blood on them, and we were pretty confident at that point that the dismemberment probably occurred in the garage.
While the police had detected the possible murder weapons or the tools that were used to dismember Robin's body, her missing limbs were nowhere to be.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go grab a glass of water. My mouth's like cotton right now. Oh. Hey there, buddy. Corn. Saints Row 3 Remaster still has glitches and bugs. I thought it'd be fixed by now. Yeah, right, buddy. Most games aren't even fucking fixed nowadays. To be honest, boys, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna end the stream, eat my dinner, watch some Sopranos. Hopefully Janus gets back to me at some point tonight and we can play some Apex, him and I. But yeah. Peace out, boys.